me.
All right, well, let's move on to something that didn't do as bad, right?
All right.
Let's go to Square Enix.
All right.
So they showcased sort of like a few things, quite a few little things that they put on there.
I really loved. What did you think about the show in general? Like, it might have been my favorite show. I don't think it was necessarily the best show in far as production and quality, but just for my taste and my liking, I think for me it was my favorite of all the shows that I watched and the things they revealed.
Well, I feel like what they revealed was all like new stuff that I hadn't really.
Well, and also I was excited about it.
I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was excited about the stuff they revealed too.
Yeah,
Not
like
only was it new, but it was like exciting for me as a gamer, what I'm into.
Right. I mean, I didn't know that they were coming out with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, none
That
of us
came out
did.
of
So
left field.
I thought that was
awesome.
dope, and then I thought that what they had showed us was pretty fire, and then they showed us like gameplay.
They gave us
and
a
shit.
lot.
And I was like, damn,
This is
okay,
what
this
I
is
think
like
Avatar would have been. See, this is for me like this is how you do it right.
right.
Not only did they reveal it and give us like, but dude, they even after they revealed it and like showed us the trailer and the gameplay,
Talking
they gave us
about
like
it.
a section of gameplay
Mhm.
to show us how the talking works. That helped me immensely because when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, I'm not really feeling how this dynamic is working and how the comedy is working. But then when you saw them talking and like the bantering and how I'm supposed to be the leader and how you kind of are and like how they incorporate it in there, how you're making decisions and
Right.
dude, that was really cool. And those are like right off the bat tough decisions. Even those decisions were like when two people are just arguing and you have to pick one.
Yeah.
That's hard,
Yeah.
man. That's hard.
Yeah, for sure. And it just gave me like this Mass Effect feel,
Yeah.
but like on a
That's a
more
great- that's
a
a
more
great- I think
fun
that was a
level
great
or
point.
something like that. Like it just seemed like it'd be a really fun way to play Mass Effect.
The only thing I would
know?
say to that is in Mass Effect you can switch between the characters and play them.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like you can do that on this one. You're stuck with Star-Lord only and only him.
That kind of sucks.
And I was a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, it does suck that you can't play like Gamora and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, they were literally using it on like some Tales of Symphonia type shit, where you just like direct them to
Right.
do a move,
Yeah.
Right.
and then they do
yeah,
that move.
absolutely. I
So-
just thought it was a little bit because you mentioned the Mass Effect. I thought that was a great comparison actually when you mentioned that.
Yeah.
But I just was like, this is a little weird how they're locking you into just him for like a Marvel type movie, where normally all the characters are kind of equally.
Yeah.
Right. If you think about Guardians of the
Equally
Galaxy,
weighted.
they're all kind of equally our hero.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever focused on just Star-Lord. I think he was kind of maybe just a tinge more of a focal point.
He was
in the
more
story.
priority a little bit.
But
yeah.
I think they're all pretty much they're
Yeah.
kind of all heroes.
It's like the
you wanna
Avengers.
play.
Right.
Yeah, like
Imagine
the
an Avengers game, but you can only play one Avenger. That would kind of
That'd
be
be
like,
weird, right? And I think
that-
that's what was throwing me for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I felt like his wasn't doing a lot of damage. It was like when you were directing Gamora.
Yeah.
Then it's like, whoa, she took
They're
a
doing
she
special abilities and
chonked that
stuff,
thing
yeah.
down, or he Jax, chunk that guy
Yeah.
down. And I'm just like peace shooting him, and it's like health is just like
Yeah.
if you watch the health bar, it was like
Yeah.
barely moving.
Yeah, it seemed like he was doing pretty good damage, punching him in the face with his guns.
He was doing more when he was jumping, doing his
Yeah.
physical attacks, but
Melee.
his guns didn't seem themselves to be doing.
Yeah, and maybe
I don't know.
maybe they increase, or maybe you get better guns or something like
I'm
that.
sure they're still balancing it.
I'm hoping that there's a lot of RPG.
They're probably
aspect
still
in it.
balancing the fights, how
Yeah.
long they should be, how hard they should be, how long they should take,
Right.
what damage you
Absolutely.
do.
But yeah, I thought this game was awesome. This was a pleasant surprise because I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I like the soundtrack. Like this is just, to me, one of my favorite Marvel movies. And I just hope. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but was the last Avengers game? It was published by Square Enix, right?
Yep.
So I hope they took notes on that dumpster fire.
That failure.
And they don't give no DLCs. I don't want nothing. I want to buy the game and I want to get everything. And I don't want to have to buy anything unless it's like an expansion. You know what I mean?
Didn't it seem like this was a little bit choppy? Like the frames were a little choppy when you were watching the trailer? Like it needed 60
wasn't-
frames per second
It's-
badly.
It didn't seem like it was super fluid. It seemed like this
Yeah.
could have been last gen or something.
Yeah, it didn't seem very
Yeah.
fluid to me.
Hmm.
But it was really well written. I
Yeah.
really liked the decisions.
Yeah.
I thought Jax was a little lacking. I think Batista or whatever did a way
Yeah.
better
Way better job,
dude.
yeah. I kind of didn't like the way the character looked. I didn't
Me
like the
either.
way.
He was like scrawnier,
me
huh? He
either.
wasn't as like
Yeah, his
ripped
face
and-
was narrower and scrawnier.
Yeah, I
was
didn't.
like-
I didn't really like the way they drew or they created Jax or Dax or whatever, the big guy, and Gamora. I thought that
I
they
agree.
could have done better on
I
those
agree.
two
They did a great job
characters.
on Groot
and
Rocket
Rocket.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
And it's
And then I thought Peter
whatever
Quill was cool.
Was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need to look like the Marvel characters. It would have been
They
cool if
probably
they did,
can't
but
because who knows? Because they
Different-
can't pay
I
the
don't know.
likeness of the actor now, right? But
oh yeah, I guess you'd have to. Do
but
that,
like
right?
Jax, I thought they were kind of missing the tone that he created in the shows with the ignorance tone.
right?
Like remember that part when he tells Gamora, it's not in your contract to kill someone. You can't kill him. She's like, what do you mean? It's not in your contract. And he said, like, she said, I didn't sign that or whatever. And then he made a comment too, like, I think it would have been funnier if he had like how he was. What do you mean? I contracted nothing in this fight. Like he contracted something. Like
Yeah.
he didn't know what the word contract meant. Because that's how it kind of was in the show.
Yeah.
He was kind of missing that really funny aspect of his character, in my opinion.
Right? Yeah, the dumbness,
just
of,
the
like,
ignorant.
not
Yeah,
getting
he
the-
doesn't really know
other
what
stuff,
anyone's
yeah.
talking about.
Right.
What do you mean over my head? Nothing flies over my head, right? Just like missing the point every time.
Right,
He was kind of missing that as his
Yeah.
character a bit. Where I think the other ones were Rocket Raccoon. I felt like Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Groot.
I felt like
was
Groot
really funny.
seemed like
dude.
Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Groot.
Yeah, Groot. When he's trying to be scary.
Yeah,
I thought that
yeah.
was funny, man. Like
Yeah.
that was great. It was just
yeah.
Drax. I think was the
Yeah.
only.
I
one.
liked some of the interaction, like when they were sitting there at the
table?
canyon,
Oh, yeah.
and they were trying to debate on whether they should throw Rocket across or not.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, "Yeah, do it, man. Throw him across. He'll be
Yeah.
fine."
Yeah.
He threw him and
I
he
agree.
hits, and he's like,
I
"Shit!"
agree,
but it's
man.
like, "Oh, Rocket will remember this." Like,
Right.
That's that
the
dope
Mass
stuff.
Effect
That's the
part,
Mass
right,
Effect
that you're
stuff.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like,
It's
damn,
cool.
okay.
This is
I
really
wonder
cool.
how that will affect
Yeah.
your relationship with Rocket
Totally.
further down the line as you're playing. You
And
know?
do
like,
I really have to
will he
give him
not
an additional
volunteer
10% cut now of whatever we're collecting, right? Of whatever
Right.
currency is in the game.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
So
that would be
it's-
interesting. You know.
That was fun, but now it's going to cost me. How much is it worth? Right?
Yeah.
That little fun
Yeah, I could have
sequence.
just taken a long route,
Right,
You know,
right.
around or whatever. But
That's
yeah,
a
so
good one,
I
man.
think that there's some promising stuff, hopefully from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And we're supposed to get it this year, right?
Oh, was there a release date? Yeah, October 26, 2021. That's soon.
Yup, that's right
Yeah.
around the corner.
How did they keep the lid on this for so long?
I don't
dude?
even know, man.
Wow, because this came out of left field.
But yeah. it
I wasn't
does.
expecting this.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. They also showed another DLC for the Wakanda Forever,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, pack
Marvel
for
Avengers.
Marvel's Avengers, which I'm pretty sure was released like 6-7 months ago.
I was gonna say we heard
like
you,
announced.
You told us about
like
this
so
months ago.
Yeah, like how long are they gonna
I think
take
Black
to put this shit
Panther
out?
was released, but I think the expansion War for Wakanda.
Oh,
Is
so
a
the character's
okay.
been out.
a
Seems like
new
you would put those
storyline.
out
Right.
coincidingly, but
Right. But what was cool, I will give them this: the War for Wakanda expansion is free.
yeah,
Nice.
It costs
That
you
is-
nothing.
that's pretty cool.
And it seemed like it was a whole new storyline.
That's cool.
Which fine.
Starting to wise up.
It doesn't make me want to play
Nah.
because I feel like every character is going to be the same. But they definitely
character
are
is the
trying
same.
there. They're trying.
I don't
right?
know what character model they used to create him, but
It's gonna be
they're all
like
gonna
Black-
fight the
Black
same
Widow
type
or
of
something,
way.
right?
Template A or template B?
Yeah,
Probably-
template A or template
You might
B.
be right,
Yeah,
Black
it's the
Widow,
Yeah,
but with
some
being able
physical-
to scratch
some
or some
physical
shit.
combat
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, for sure. They also showed Babylon's Fall, but that was more of like a trailer.
I liked this one, dude.
You liked Babylon's
This
Fall?
looked dope.
It kind of I didn't really see too much
Yeah,
off of the
I
thing
didn't
that
see
we watched. It,
any-
didn't,
I disagree, man.
it just looked like a straight, little clip.
Yeah.
But
You're
what'd
probably
you
gonna-
get
you're
from
probably
it?
gonna
Dude, they
disagree
showed a
with me.
whole entire trailer
Yeah.
and they had the commentators talking about all aspects of it too. They gave a
Yeah.
big chunk.
You're
of
probably
the
gonna
show to it.
disagree
Okay,
with
so
me,
the
but
second
I thought
show?
it looked generic.
Dude, I thought the music sounded just like Dark Souls. I thought the artwork, like the environments, looked just like Dark Souls 2. They didn't show us a lot of combat, but what combat they did show looked really fun. Yes, it did look a little bit last gen as far as like the shading of like the lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the pictures, I agree. But if you listen to like the music and if you look at the artistry of like the places they're in, I thought they were doing a great job of trying to emulate, in my opinion, Dark Souls as a 4-player co-op game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This looked really, I was
Yeah.
really actually excited for this
Yeah,
one.
to
I'm
me-
definitely gonna need
yeah.
to see some more of that one.
Yeah, to me it looked a little last gen and it looked a little generic. I feel like its identity was kind of questionable in my opinion. It looked like other games. It didn't. I don't know. It looked.
I
a
don't know.
little
Watch
generic.
it again, man.
The
Give it
only
another shot.
only thing I liked about it was the 4-player aspect. The
It looked
multiplayer
really
aspect.
fun, honestly.
It's like a nice dungeon crawl. Always loved dungeon crawl. So it does have my interest for the multiplayer aspect, but I feel like the world was a little lacking in my opinion.
Yeah, I would just say maybe try to give it another shot.
Yeah.
To look at it
sure.
again, because at first I didn't know what this game was,
Yeah.
and at first I thought it
I
might
never
have been
heard of it.
generic. But the more and more it kept going,
Gotcha.
the more and more I was impressed by it.
I see.
The more and more it grew on me, and the more and more I got much more excited about it. And the
Gotcha.
more they were telling me about like the abilities and the skills and the fighting and the combat, just got me like, wow, this actually might be a sleeper in my book. So I was
Alright.
actually pretty excited about Babylon's Fall.
Interesting.
Because it's made by Platinum Games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super familiar with that company, but they made I think.
Oh, and
the
this was a live
Bayonetta.
service as a game as a service too. So
That's
this game
always
is going to
awesome.
be having more content come and released over time.
Mm.
So I don't know. This just seemed like the Destiny version of Dark Souls to me.
Yeah.
So I was
but
really excited
I would
about
say the thing I like about it is that the developer of it made the Nier Automata as well as the Bayonetta games.
Exactly.
And those I haven't played
Exactly.
those, but those have very high
Yes.
reviews and
They're
very
all 9 Game of the Year
very
level
high
games.
follow-
Well,
Following-
Nier Automata was supposed to be like a Souls-like
If
game.
you look at
Oh, really?
Nier, it's really a lot different. It's Souls in the fact that it's hard, but the gameplay is like a lot different. Did you ever play it?
No, I watched some stuff. I
It's
played
really cool.
Code
It's
Vein.
cool.
I felt like
Nier-
Code Vein was like
Nier Automata is
Souls.
completely different. But if you go and you watch like Nier Automata on the trailer, it's got that cloudy,
Yeah.
last gen looking graphics.
Yeah.
Right. This looks the same way. So that looks generic too.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think Nier Automata looks
Agreed,
generic?
agreed,
But
agreed.
it's a lot of fun. And if you look at like it says here, this is supposed to be a high fantasy. And like if you look at like the armor, they showed like character models and armor. Looked really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. This game looks really good. And plus I am a fan of
Yeah.
Nier
See,
Automata.
you're hyping me up for it more.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
because I
cool,
didn't
man.
think much of it, but I was like, all right, the studio made some bangers,
Mhm.
but it didn't blow my mind. But it's a new game. We never heard about it, or I didn't hear about it before. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm more excited now
Yeah.
that you're hyping me up.
And
a little
Bayonetta
bit.
is like one of people's. That was like a '90s, super,
Yeah.
like a high
I've been wanting to
90s
play that.
game, man. That
People love that hack and
love
slash.
Everyone loves
Bayonetta.
that.
And I really love Nier Automata. I wanted to play the new one, Nier Replicant, which I had that on my Amazon wish list too.
Didn't they
But,
give us something
uh,
like that for free? PlayStation? Didn't they
never
give us
given
Nier
us any
Automata or
Nier
something?
game.
No, that's Game
Xbox,
Pass.
you could play it on Game Pass.
Game Pass.
If you
Oh,
want to play
okay.
Nier Automata, play it on Game Pass. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun.
How do you say it? Autonoma?
Automata?
Automata?
Yeah, Automata.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that one, I was like really pleasantly
Okay.
surprised with that one.
How surprised were you with
And I mean-
Strangers in Paradise?
I wasn't that turned off by it. Mark, I'm kind of curious to hear what you thought about The Strangers. Like, it seemed like, so this is the remastered version of Life is Strange, where it's just Life is Strange again, but it's remastered.
Oh, I was talking
Did you
about the
notice
Dark
how
Souls
they showed like the what?
the Dark Souls one, the
Oh,
Stranger
okay.
of Paradise.
Stranger in Paradise.
But we could talk about the,
Yeah, but
the
Life
Life
is
is Strange
Strange.
because they did True Colors and then
The
a
True
remake of
Colors
the
and
other one.
Life
Right?
is Strange.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Life is Strange. Did you see like they showed the old one and the rematch? It didn't seem like that big of an improvement to me, man.
Yeah. It's a minor polish.
Yeah.
Maybe 60 FPS.
Yeah.
I really like this series, so it's an affordable game. It was always like $20 when it was new, $10 on sale. So if it follows the same script, it's the same price as old, but now maybe we have ray tracing, 60 FPS. I'll gladly play these games again.
Okay.
So I'm happy that they're keeping the Life is Strange going because I feel like it's awesome story, awesome gameplay, and the character, everything's cool about it. So I'm happy that they're keeping it going, for next gen.
It's just a remaster, but I really liked it. You never played it yet, right?
I have not touched any Life is
It's
Strange.
good, man.
You
I
like
think
it.
You'd really like it, honestly.
It
You
seemed
probably
like
already
True
have it.
Colors looked like it might be kind of cool.
Dude, True Colors, she has the new empathy psychic power. She can like read thoughts and like see how people are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think because I'm on like this Disco Elysium kick where like I'm talking to a lot of people and like having empathy or
Yeah.
rhetoric with people, that this really appealed to me because
Nice.
I'm really liking Disco Elysium like a whole lot.
Mhm.
And so seeing this, I was kind of excited because it's kind of cool. You see someone there, you can kind of read his thoughts, and then now you have some insight to use to get them to do something for you, or
Right.
get them to reveal information for you, whatever it may be.
Seems like
Really neat.
a cool little game that's out of the normal
Yeah.
of the regular stuff that you play because
Yeah.
there's no really combat or anything like that, right? It's
Right.
just navigating these people's feelings.
Which is
in the
what
world.
Disco Elysium's into. Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's
that's
not bad.
cool. But yeah, I was asking you before,
Okay.
like, how did you feel about Stranger of Paradise?
Yeah,
Which
this
is
was
supposed to be
the
the
This was what I think we're all pretty excited to see.
this was the leak.
this was the Dark Souls
Dark
Square
Souls
Enix
game.
joint, right?
Final Fantasy and it is a Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be like how it all
It's
started,
supposed to be
right?
before
like the sequel,
all the
yeah,
games,
it's like
right?
how Final Fantasy began, like what started it all,
Okay.
what caused the destruction and the enemies and everything.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This looked more generic to me.
All right, I am
See, first
happy.
Babylon Fall, this looked more
Okay,
generic.
I'm
to
happy
me
you
than
agree
that.
because I
Yeah.
feel like first, like the main character, his
Yeah.
model, he's wearing a T-shirt. He has like a little buzz cut. He looks as generic as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas the boss looks awesome. You know, he's decked out in his gear.
Yeah.
He has a cool voice, cool weapon.
Didn't they say that you could customize these guys though?
Oh, they did.
I don't know. I thought
Okay,
that I
that'd
heard
be
that,
cool
but
if
I
you
don't
could customize.
I don't
the
recall
characters.
that.
know. Okay.
But it looked generic as heck. The combat looked pretty fun. You know,
Yeah.
in the little corridors. For some reason, it kind of reminded me of Godfall, like generic-y. Like the world wasn't amazing because you know in Godfall, right? The world wasn't.
It was shiny and ray traced, but yeah, it was.
It was
corridor
nothing
combat.
else
It was
much
corridor
to it.
combat. Yeah,
and this
it
kind of
was,
reminded me of the corridor combat as
mhm.
well.
You just walk down corridors and kill things.
Exactly.
No, I feel very similar to how you feel about this game. It was very much, very last gen-y, like
Yeah.
early
Oh, yeah, for sure.
last gen, like graphically. I didn't actually like that it was you have two guys walking around with you. I'd rather have just been myself.
Yeah.
More Dark Souls. Would it make it more Dark Souls? I don't need like companions.
Yeah.
Unless I want to summon them, then
Yeah.
I get it. I could have done without that. That I don't like that, you know. And then the writing didn't seem that great. He's constantly saying chaos. I'm
That
here
was
to kill
annoying.
chaos. Where is chaos?
I was gonna say that,
need
like,
to
dude,
kill
if this is
chaos.
all this dude
Chaos,
says,
chaos.
I'm about
Annoying,
to sell
dude.
this shit quick.
dude.
Like,
Like it was really really weird. It was like, what in the
got
world,
to have
dude?
more chaos. I love chaos.
The
I
ol-
eat chaos for breakfast.
The only thing I'll say is like a little bit what Mark was saying was the combat at times looked cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
where I
sitting
can,
there
like-
freezing something in the
Yeah, and
crystals
you
and
crush
then
it or
breaking
whatever.
it or
like,
whatever. Yeah.
there was some cool things there, and I'm going to reserve my judgment on if I like this game a lot or not because Team Ninja was involved. And
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of
Good point.
Neo. I love Neo 2 a lot. And I trust them to do something good, but this had me worried.
Yeah.
Definitely had me worried. I was let down on this one for sure.
Yeah, it definitely I didn't like the fact that they kept saying this, you know, this chaos
Yeah.
thing with this dude's
The main
voice.
character was annoying, dude.
His
Really
face
annoying.
and his just like
He
his
was
whole setup,
Some
he just
weird
looked boring.
obsession with chaos, dude.
Yeah, but he
Really
just
generic
looked
as hell.
looked boring. He didn't look like
Mm.
oh I want to play that guy. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed
And no cool
he
armor.
just
Just a
seemed basic
t-shirt.
as fuck. You know. So, but you know, hopefully we can see more about the damn game to get
Yeah.
a better idea of what's going on in this and
Yeah.
how it plays. Because I mean, we saw a little bit of combat, but I mean, it still looked like Final Fantasy to me. I didn't really see a whole lot there that looked like Team Ninja aspect
Yeah.
going on.
I think
So
just the
besides the
combat,
darkness or
the
something.
combat is a little different than Final Fantasy to some degree. From what I've played on 7,
I
and
also
Final
haven't
14,
played
it's a little
15
different.
or whatever.
I played the
so
more
I
recent
don't know.
ones,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so
it did look like they were trying to go Dark Soulsy.
Yeah, because it was a
Right.
lot more grim and eerie. You
Yeah.
know, the Final Fantasy games are a little more light and outside-ish. You know, this was very grim, and for some reason, it reminded me a little bit of, I don't know why, but Devil May Cry. Like, I didn't play too much of it, but like the combat and things like that, it just had a kind of Devil May Cry feel to
Yeah,
it.
it did seem like it was like Dark Souls or Devil May Cry with lock-on, one-on-one combat.
see that shit reminded me more so of Code Vein than it did Devil May Cry. But
Yeah, Code Vein was not good. It was a letdown, I think.
Yeah.
I tried it too because I love Souls-like games,
Yeah.
and I gave it a good handful of
you gave
hours,
it a
man.
good go.
Yeah.
The good
but
old college try.
Shut it off, man. It was too easy.
Yeah,
Right? It was like
It
it,
was
wasn't
pretty
fun.
simple.
It wasn't even fun. It was just like a joke.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess moving on from Square Enix.
But,
we're-
oh,
Wait, what did we grade Square Enix?
I would
though?
say there's two other cool things though.
okay, what did you get?
You reminded me of this earlier. The Final Fantasy
yeah,
remakes,
pixel art.
those are
remakes.
coming
okay.
to Steam and phone.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like those old, like classic, you know, those are good classic role playing games. Those are
Yeah.
awesome on the Pocket and awesome on the PC.
Mhm.
So that's one good thing. And then they're doing a remake of the Legends of Mana,
which is a great game from Super NES.
So I played this way back in the day. I used to play this with my cousins and my grandma. We all played this on the Super Nintendo. So I want to play this game again. So that was cool. It's a remake, nothing new, but it's cool that they're re-releasing it. So
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'm excited about both those things too. Like, cause I like pixel art, cause I'm indie guy, and And I was like, oh, that's really neat. That appeals to me.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
I like that. I might actually play those because of that. And then Secret of Mana is a classic. You know,
Yeah.
I'll probably end up playing that. That's like a great game for the Switch, I think. And it's coming out on
Oh,
Switch.
yeah, for sure.
But like, what would you grade Square Enix overall as a show?
I would say because the Dark Souls games, I envision something a little more grand in my head. I'm going to give them a B.
Okay.
It's a solid B, maybe B+. But if the Dark Souls game was a little better, you started selling me on, what's that, Babylon?
Babylon
game?
Fall.
Babylon Falls. You started selling me. I'm going to go back and watch it and give it another chance. But I think with both of those games, they have a lot of tried and true, like with the Final Fantasy remakes and all that. But they have two potentially really awesome games. So I would say B+. I give them a solid B+.
I give him like a B-.
B-.
Because the only one that I really cared about or that I was surprised and enjoyed was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Was looking forward to
It's
the
great,
Strangers
though.
of Paradise or whatever.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This might be whatever. You know what I mean? So the other stuff was just like so for me. You know, I don't
See-
have Marvel's Avengers, so I ain't playing it. So
Yeah.
You don't have. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a B+ to A- because I liked everything they showed. Almost everything they showed, it really appealed to me as the type of gamer I am. I thought Avengers was probably next to Elden Ring and a couple other games, one of the best games revealed at E3. In my opinion, and it's a Square Enix game, and they revealed it. They held it to the chest.
Right.
They
Dude,
didn't reveal it
awesome.
at the Game Fest.
Awesome.
They saved it, every piece, because they had a lot to show.
Yeah.
They didn't give even a piece out.
Right.
Right. They saved it all. I love
it was
that.
not announced
It
until
was not
that-
announced
that
at all
section,
until
yeah.
Square Enix, and
Right.
then every game, the Final Fantasy Pixels, the Secret of Mana, Babylon's Fall, Life is Strange, even Paradise was the one that was a letdown for me, which is why I could maybe bump it down to a B+. Had that been a great game, this is an A, easy.
Yeah.
But because of that, I can see it bump down to a B+. But otherwise, I thought this was a really good conference.
Yeah.
It may have not been like super polished. It was kind of generic. But because everything was in what I look for in gaming,
Yeah.
I was most excited about this one. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a B+, maybe even an A-, like a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I agree with what he says. Like, every game, it didn't let me down. Other than this, I was hoping that the Strangers in Paradise, but I would still play Strangers in Paradise.
Right, exactly.
I
I'm still
would
going to play it
wanna
properly.
It looks
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
I still want to give it a try. So yeah, there's no bad games.
Right.
Everything here is worth your time to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love you, me.